Hi, it's Laura with Following the Paper Trail, and I recently uploaded a video showing the split paper bag album where I split some paper bags. Here's one of them that I showed you. It has pockets, and it also had a flap. And on this one, let me just give you a quick review. You can watch the video. It's just very recent. It's where I've used some paper bags. These happen to be the Michaels celebration paper bags. And what I've done is I opened up the bag. Let me just open this one up a little bit real quick. See if I can do it. Well, anyway, I opened up the bag, split the gusset of the bag right down that line to the intersection where it all folds. You can see that all on the video, so that then you can, once the bag is split open, you can open it up flat. On this side, we put a little piece over this to create two pockets here. And I can show you on this, like here, where we've opened it up here. See, there's the split bag. Opened it up, created two pockets on each side. Then on the facing side, I showed you how to take a piece of, and I just had a piece out, here it is, a piece of cardstock to face that, so that you then had a surface there, and I also had a flap on it. Here's the one that I did this with yesterday. You may recall this, to where it has a flap. Here's the paper bag right here, and then on the flip side it has a flap on it. Well, I have a new version of it, another version, that I meant to get this uploaded at the same time, but I just ran out of time. With this one, what we're going to do is we're splitting the paper bags, just like we did, and then on the back side, the paper bag side, we're creating those pockets, just like we did on the previous one. But on this side, instead of putting just a plain piece of cardstock with a flap on it to create so that you still have the pocket from the paper bag, instead of putting a paper bag on it, what we're going to do today is we're going to take an envelope that fits that size. For these Michaels bags, this is an A6 size envelope, and that fits on there perfectly. I just cut the length of the bag down to the same length as the envelope. I've then taken the flap of the envelope and shortened it down, because I'm going to make an extended flap on there as well. So we're going to be attaching this, and I'll show you how to attach all this, but we'll be attaching this envelope, and then as I said, I've made an extended pocketed flap that's got a pocket in it that's going to attach to the flap of the envelope. So then you'll have a pocket, a photo mat area, and a pocket for several photo mats. So we've just added a ton of real estate to it. So let me show you. This is going to add on to the front of this book, but I have a part of this book. So here's those pockets with the photo mats tags that fit into the pockets. Here's the actual paper bag pocket right here that's got large photo mats that fit in it. And here's where I've added the envelopes. So I did a contrasting color tag. So there's a tag that fits in that little pocket. The flap flips up, and then inside the envelope you have another tag. So instead of this just being a flat piece with a flap that was flapping on this side, we have a top flap and the envelope pocket. So there's room here for photo or journaling, and you can put multiple mats inside this pocket, and there's one on each side. So then we have this, this part of it, and then here's the pockets again with the envelopes, the pocketed flaps on the envelopes. So let me show you how I did that. And again, I have my hinged joints on here as well, and let me show you a little bit more about the hinged joints as well. So I've got this guy all prepped that we're going to add him on there. So I've already gone ahead and put the pockets on there. You can refer to the other video or the pattern that I have available. This part is in the pattern, so you can go with that. So next, we need to attach these two units together. This is from one paper bag, and this is a second paper bag here. So I need to attach these two, and this is where I use a hinge joint. Now when I did this with the cardstock, I put the cardstock down first, and then I did the hinge joints that had punches on the edge, and they were on the outside to add a decorative. With this one, I'm going to have them sandwiched in between the envelope and the paper bag. They're going to be hidden so that it doesn't interfere with the envelope itself. Typically, to make one of my hinge joints, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut a piece the height that you need it by about 2 to 2¼ inches wide. You're going to go to find the center of your piece. You're not going to score it on the center, but you're going to score it 1/8 of an inch on each side of the center for 1/4 of an inch. That's why a 2 1/4 is an easier math, because you'll go over 1 inch and then over 1/4 of an inch, and you should have 1 inch left over. When you do it at 2 inch, it's over 7/8, over 1/4, and then 7/8. So whichever math is easier. So you're going to score it so that those two score lines are 1/4 of an inch apart, and you're going to fold it and give it a good bone folder fold. And I fold it back and forth on itself a couple times, and that gives it a nice, easy moving joint. You're then going to want to put adhesive or glue on each side of the joint, and then I put 2 little tabs on these, because what I want is I don't want it to interfere with my pocket that's going to be created where this flange is. So I only want it attaching where the gusset is and not here in the center, because otherwise it's going to shorten up my pocket. So what we're going to do then is we're going to take off this sticky back, this paper back tape. Take the paper off the back. So then I'm going to align this folded edge with this folded edge of my spine and center it nicely on there and stick that down. So see how my pocket still continues down, and it's not stopped at this point. It continues down to the other piece of adhesive. So I'm going to attach that down. This other side then will attach to this side. We're not going to do that right this second, but you can see how it'll attach to this side. Before we do that, I want to attach my envelope to this side of the page. And where did my ATG go? Nothing like losing your adhesive right in the middle of a video. It is totally and completely run away. Oh, there it is. I have too many work surfaces in here. I have 2 desks to work on, so it gets a little crazy. Okay, just like we did in the video yesterday, we're going to want to run 1 row of adhesive right next to the cut edge of that gusset on each side of it, and then we're going to come in at about a 1/2 inch in from that folded side, and I'm going to run another strip of adhesive, and that allows some breathing room in the pocket, the paper bag pocket. And then I'll run one right down here. Actually, I'll run it on right on my hinge joint. So then I will take my envelope. Now I have trimmed this down, the flap on it, because it was about 2 inches. I've trimmed it down to 3/4 of an inch. Now you don't want to, excuse me, go over the fold. You want to go right up next to it, and you want to line up the bottom, and you stick that down. See, then on this, whoops, I got that in the pocket already. So this gives me the paper bag pocket, and by allowing that little bit of space, if you have an embellished tag, it'll fit. If it was plastered up against it, it wouldn't have that breathing room in it. Then I have the tag that fits in this little pocket here. So here I've got a pocket for my envelope. So then I've got this flap that I can then attach a pocketed flap to. And what I've done with this is I figured out how tall I wanted my envelope or my flap to be, and I want it to be a little bit shorter than my envelope. So I've cut this to 4.5 inches, and I wanted a 2-inch pocket. So I've cut this 6.5 inches. My envelope is 6.5 inches wide, so I've cut it 6.5 inches plus 1/2 inch on each side. I'm going to trim off this part here. So I will trim it. I'll also nip off this corner down here, because I'm going to trim it how I trimmed it at a little bit of an angle and a little bit of an angle. I normally don't cut this with my scissors. I like a straighter cut, and I don't cut very straight, but I want to show you how this works. So I'm just going to cut this nice and straight on that edge. Do it over on this side. You can cut this with a craft knife or your cutting tool or the scissors like I'm doing right now. Excuse me, let's get this out of the way. So then I'm going to fold the pocket up, give it a good crease. These little tabs, I'm going to fold those in on each side, and then I will put some adhesive on those, and I will stick those down, and that creates the pocket. I've got one of them here all ready to go, already stuck down, good to go. So then what I'm going to do, it's sometimes easier if you open this out flat. I'm going to put my adhesive next to the edge and next to the fold on what was the flap of the envelope. I then want my pocket side up, lay it on top of my envelope because I want that flap from the envelope to be on top, line it up with the fold, and stick that down. I will be putting pattern paper over that edge so you'll never even know it was there, so it's all nice and hidden. So there's my envelope and the flap with a pocket in it. Here's my hinge joint. See, there's the 1/4 inch. That's going to be part of the spine because the next page is going to go right up against this side. These hinge joints give a lot of breathing room for those of you who like to make chunky embellished books. It gives you a lot of space in there. And you can do them like I'm doing in this one to where they're hidden, or they can be exposed and you just use one of your decorative edge punches or scissors or something to give it a pretty edge. So I'm going to line that up just like I did before. So see, there's the hinge joint in there. There's the page we put on before, and here's the page we just put on. Excuse me. So then I've got another envelope that is going to lay over the top of that one. Slide so I'm on camera better. It's going to place right over the top of that one. And then I have another. I keep whacking into my camera. Sorry, I'm making it look all wacky-do. Okay, so I'm going to then take my hinge, or my flap. It's going to place over it, and the flap of my envelope will stick down onto that. So that'll be, let me show you that on a page further in. So the two facing pages will look like this. And then you've got your envelope. So it's combining paper bags and envelopes all in one mini album. Now to attach your cover, you're going to use a similar type of hinge joint. I've got it to where it's 1 inch on this side and it's a 1/4 inch. And then I usually make this about 1.5 to 2 inches. And this is the part that's going to attach to my cover. And I've got the back one already attached on here. So here's my 1/4 inch for the spine, and then here's the wider section of the flap, and I will be attaching this to my chipboard cover. I am going to be working on one of these albums on my Wednesday. I'm doing now a Wednesday noon show where I'm just working on finishing up some projects. So I'm doing this out of my summertime kit. Those summertime kits, I'm adding the envelopes because I'm so excited about how this came out. I have quite a few of those still left. They're not scheduled to ship for a couple days because the paper's been back ordered. So as a thank you to all of those who ordered the kits, you're going to get the envelopes to be able to do this version as well. So I just think it's totally fun combining the two. You know, I'm kind of known for both my paper bags and my envelopes. So, you know, let's put them together. In the pattern, it also shows you how to cover this spine. I talked about this in the video, the previous video that I did. And so I'll be showing that. So tomorrow, which is, let's see, that's the 17th, I believe, of August. Tomorrow at noon Pacific time, I will be doing a Ustream show, putting together one of these albums. I may have this one pretty much done by then as well to show on the show. If I get a chance, I'll YouTube video both of them so that you can see them. But so watch the other video, the split paper bag album. It goes along with this one, and then come over and watch us at noon. It will be recorded, so you can go back and watch the recording if you have the capabilities of doing that. I wish I had all the solutions to help everybody, but there's all sorts of solutions out there. on my blog, on Catherine from the Scrap Beach. She has some on her blog. I have some on my Ing site. There's just tons of it out there. I wish there was one solution that fit everybody, but there isn't, unfortunately. But if you can join us, come on and join us. If you can watch the recording, come watch the recording. I will have, this portion is not in the pattern that I have out with the envelopes, but I will be posting a tutorial for doing it with the envelopes on my blog probably later this week. So anyway, thanks for watching, and have fun combining envelopes and paper bags to make a really fun, quick, and easy album. And we'll see you soon. Thanks a bunch.